Guten Morgen, everyone. Today it's focaccia time. And this is the easiest recipe you'll ever find because it's a no-knead focaccia. Yes, really, really easy. It's going to take some time, maybe one day, but it's really worth it. So, the focaccia is ready to be baked, and I also have my oven preheated. So let me put some dry rosemary on top of it. It's going to be really simple. Of course, you can use whatever you want. Some cherries, tomatoes, maybe some cheese, some pepperoni, or even bacon. Whatever you want is okay. And now, let's go with some sea salt. There. And of course, some Italian olive oil. Drizzle of this incredible golden Italian olive oil. There. A bit more there. Done. And now the best part. Going with your fingers. Wow. Like this. This way what we are doing is moving all the air of the fermentation, moving all around the dough. Oh, what is this? Okay, I'll leave it there. Beautiful. Take a look at it. Ready to go to the oven. Okay, so let me take this to the oven and we'll continue. So I am going to bake it today in my deck oven, which is, as I said, preheated at high temperature. So there it goes for around 20 minutes. And here I'm back. And this is today's recipe. Really, really easy. Remember that you can download my app, Gluten Morgan's Baker's Percentage, for free for Android and iPhone. And then you add this recipe to the app, and it's really easy to calculate the weight of the dough. And talking about the dough, let's start. I'm using today a preferment called Poolish, which is 1 part of flour and 1 part of water with a little bit of yeast, and that is going to be the energy that is going to boost our no-knead focaccia. For that, what I need is just a bowl, a little bit of the flour from the recipe, then this little bit of yeast. There, that's enough. And of course, water. Now, I mix this, and this is going to be the preferment called Poolish, which supposedly comes from Poland. So it shouldn't be Poolish, should be Polish. I think so. Okay, let's mix this, and we are done. Okay. This is really, really easy, and it's going to give a lot of flavor to our no-knead focaccia. Good. Now I cover this, and now I need to let this rest here on the counter for a few hours. It depends on the temperature, on the room temperature, and also on the amount of yeast that I used, even if I used dry yeast or maybe fresh yeast. So it may take 2, 4, 6, 8 hours, it depends on that. But when you see that the Poolish is bubbling like this, that means that it's ready. Wow. Let me show all the bubbles that it has. There. Whoa. Look how it changed. So this is going to be the heart, this is going to be the boost that we're going to give to the focaccia. And it smells incredible. This is going to give a lot of air, flavor, aroma to the focaccia. It's much better rather than using yeast. Of course, you can use yeast from the start, from scratch. But if you make a preferment, always you get better results. So now that we have the preferment ready, let's start with the dough, with the no-knead dough, which is easier. So we have more flour. There. Now I go with the Poolish. Goes in. There it goes. There. Whoop. Now comes the salt. It goes all together, all the ingredients at the same time. And a little bit of olive oil. If you don't have olive oil, you don't like olive oil, you can use whichever oil you have. And the final ingredient, water. So we mix everything in a bowl, like this. And we start mixing. No kneading, just mixing. We need to hydrate the flour. That's the only thing that we have to do now. And the final ingredient that we need is, of course, thyme. Thyme is the secret ingredient that gives flavor to everything. In this case, the dough. That gives flavor to wine, cheeses, cold cuts, beer, whatever. So thyme is the key to get a better result, more tasty. Almost done. It's easy. You can use your hand, you can use a spoon or this Danish whisk. My favorite. Since my last trip to Denmark, from where I brought this Danish whisk. Is that true? No? Well, but this is a Danish whisk. Okay, almost done. No kneading at all. Take a look at this. No gluten development, nothing. We're going to do an autolyze. With autolyze means let the dough rest. To rest for an hour, 2 hours, and you'll see how the gluten develops by itself. So then you'll see that the dough is fully developed or fully kneaded. So now I leave this here, there on the counter, and a few hours later, we're going to see this. I tell you that it's going to take little time, but this is the result. Take a look at it. This is the one that I just mixed, and this was mixed a few hours before I started shooting the video. So, look at this. Here there's no gluten development at all, as you can see. And this one is fully mixed. Look how beautiful it is. So this is going to happen 2-3 hours, maybe later. So time is what we have a lot, so don't worry. And take a look at it. It's looking beautiful. Let me put it on the counter. Put some water here. And let's finish the dough. So all the ingredients are already in the dough. And take a look, the magic of the gluten. I have no kneaded at all, just mixed a little bit with my Danish whisk. That was all. So it's really, really easy. So what do I have to do now? What I have to do now is to let the dough rise. But we're going to do that slowly. Yes, we're going to do that really slowly because what I want is to enhance the flavor and make it more airy and light. So that's going to take some time. So after the dough is fully kneaded without my hands, I leave it there, cover it, and I'm going to take this to the fridge because we are going to do a cold and long fermentation. Overnight is okay. From one day to the other, it's perfect. So I take this to the fridge, and then you're going to find this. This is how it should look like at the next day. Fully developed, full of air, with bubbles, and perfect, and almost ready to be baked. So, what do you need then? You need another mold. Again, this one is smaller than the one that I'm baking right now, but it's the same thing. And of course, when we are talking about focaccia, we always need some olive oil. This is a non-stick mold, but if you're using a sticky mold, maybe you should use more olive oil or a parchment paper in the bottom of the mold. So, let me put some olive oil. And now, what I'm going to do is to transfer the dough to the mold. Like this. Look at all the air that it has. Now slowly, whoa, it's beautiful. Let me put this in here. So now what you have to do is to let the dough rest, maybe an hour and a half, and then you'll have it ready to go with the fingers as I did at the beginning of the video. So I'll let this here, and I'm going to check if the focaccia is already done. Okay, I think it's time to take it out of the oven, and wow. Take a look at it, it's beautiful. So okay, let it cool down and stay tuned because this continues. And here is the focaccia. It's still a little bit warm, but take a look and how light it is. Beautiful. Wow. Look at this. Really crispy. And we haven't done much, just wait and bake. So I think it's time to open this, check it out, and make something really, really tasty. Let me cut this in the middle. Take a look at this. I told you, super light. Wow. Okay. Let me open this. I'm going to make a sandwich. That's why I made this super light focaccia. Okay, let me cut this in half. Here. This is really beautiful. Please take a closer look to the crumb. Okay, take a closer look to the crumb. Wow, take a look at this. It's so light and so crispy. Okay, time to make an excellent sandwich. Which one should I use? They're both the same. This one. Okay, let me open this. And now, whoa. Wow. Okay, sandwich time. So let me think a second. First, more olive oil. Just a little drizzle. There. Not that much. There. Okay. Now I have some red and beautiful tomatoes at the bottom. There. Another one, 2, 3, and 4. There. Now a pinch of salt. Tomatoes. And here I have some fresh arugula from my backyard. No, it's not from my backyard. I don't know. Okay, some arugula. Here. There. I love arugula. And prosciutto. Here comes some Italian prosciutto. There. More prosciutto. Yes. This is going to be incredible. Let me put some more here. Wow, a lot of prosciutto. There, a little bit more. And just a little bit more here. One more here. And the last one here. I don't know. Wow, beautiful. And at least, not at last, but not at least, an incredible burrata. This Italian mozzarella is one of my favorites. Wow. There. Beautiful. And finally, of course, more olive oil. And let's crown this sandwich focaccia. Please let me see in comments, what do you think about this Italian sandwich? It's huge. Wow. And I'm going to eat it. Now. So here is the sandwich. I don't know how I'm going to bite it. It's a little bit complicated, but I love to. Well, I hope you have enjoyed this video as much as I mean. I'll see you on the next one.